Good day, friends. Today we will discuss sales comparison approach. So, in this video, we will be discussing basics of the sales comparison approach and one method with which you can calculate the value of a real estate asset. So, basically, this is a base of all the three methods in sales comparison method, whether you are doing cost approach and cost approach also the value of the land is calculated by or market approach method. So basically this is market approach method, or generally we may call it as sales comparison approach. As far as IPBA syllabus is concerned, the syllabus has market approach to value, in which you have to discuss types of market, and then you have to study how you can carry out market survey and how you can collect the data, means market survey and data collection. Then what are the sources of sales transactions from where you can get the data. Then what is comparison of sale instances, what are the factors of comparison and weightages for adjustment in value. Then there are certain methods such as hedonic model and adjustment grid model under sales comparison method. Then the land characteristics and its effect on land value. Hypothetical plotting scheme for value of large size land. Residue technique and other development methods. And in the end, you have to learn valuation for joint venture development of property. As far as weightage is concerned, weightage for market approach to value is 7%. In this video, we will learn up to this types of market, and then market survey and data collection, sources of sales transaction, then comparison of sale instances, factors of comparison and weightages for adjustment in value. And up to this we will study in this video. First thing is types of market. So there are three types of market as far as valuation of real estate is concerned. First one is buyer's market. First one is buyer's market. In buyer's market, buyers have upper hand. Means in buyer's market, buyers have upper hand. So in this case, buyers have more properties, there are more properties for sales than there are buyers, means number of sellers are less and number of buyers are more. Sorry, number of sellers are more but the number of buyers are less, so more properties are there for sale. So buyers have upper hand and they have more choices in property. They can choose a property as per their requirement, and of course buyers will be having higher negotiating power while making a purchase. So if you want to buy home, this is the ideal market, this is the ideal time to do, means to purchase a house, this is the ideal time. The second type of market is seller's market. In seller's market, it is opposite of the buyer's market. It means here the sellers have upper hand, so number of buyers, here there are fewer listings than there are buyers, means number of buyers are more than the number of sellers. So here buyers face stiff competition amongst themselves. Secondly, because of this, what will happen, there may be in bidding wars, or their home search might take longer than expected. So if you have to sell a property, this is the best time. When there is seller's market, then seller's market is the best time to sell your property. Then the third one is balanced market. In balanced market, buyers and sellers are at on even grounds. So number of homes for sale is at par with the level of demand. So it means neither buyer nor the seller have upper hand. Both are at the same level. So this is basically the transition period between from one market to another market, when the time market changes from one buyers to seller or sellers to market, then the transition period between them is balanced market. So if you want to learn more about the differences, we can learn this from this table. So here there are three columns. This column is for buyer's market, this is for seller's market, this is for balanced market. In buyer's market, homes take longer to sell. In seller's market, home sells quickly. So in balanced market, so it will be longer than seller's market but shorter than buyer's market. So this is the transition period. So in buyer's market, buyers have more listing to choose from. But in seller's market, sellers can be picking with who buys their home. And in of course in balanced market, number of homes for sale is in line with buyers' demand. Here buyers have less competition. Here buyers have more competition, or we can say sellers can be picky with who buy their home. So both buyers and seller at the same level in balanced market. So in buyers market, buyers can negotiate, they can make lower offers, they can negotiate more on sale prices and closing cost. But in sellers market, sellers can demand higher price. In balanced market, appraisal are at par with the offers. Sellers in buyers market, sellers may have to do more to market their properties. Here in sellers market, it will be opposite. So buyers may have a hard time finding a property. So in balanced market, both are at the same level. So seller in buyer's market, seller may need to lower their prices, but this is not the case in seller's market. In seller's market, sellers can demand higher prices. So in balanced market, neither home buyers nor sellers have much power to negotiate. Then in your syllabus is market survey and data collection. That how the market survey is done and how the data is collected. So, conducting a market survey and collecting data for real estate valuation in India involves several steps and methodologies. This is how you can proceed. First is market step surveys. First thing is define objectives. What does this mean? It means whenever you are doing valuation, or whenever some client asks you to do some valuation, first thing you have to ask him his purpose of valuation. What is the purpose of valuation? So once the purpose of valuation is known, means you know the objective of your valuation. For example, you are doing it for valuation for buying. Seller client has asked that he wants to buy certain property and he want to do get valuation from you. So it means you, if you are doing valuation for buying, you are doing valuation for selling, for investment, or for taxation. So once the purpose is clear to you, only then you can move further. So once this purpose is known to you, then you identify the target area. Target area means when, let us suppose you are to do the valuation in a particular city. So first thing you must know the in which city you have to do the valuation, and then the particular area of the city in which you have to do the valuation. These two things should be known to you. So you have to know specific regions of the city or particular area in which you have to carry out the valuation of particular property. So first thing, define object and then identify your target area. And then in from the target area, you collect the data. So gather data. What type of data you have to collect? You have to collect data of on recent property sales. So if you are doing valuation of owner occupied property, then you have to do valuation on the basis of recent property sales. And if you are doing valuation for income approach, then you must know the rental rates in the area. These two things will depend upon the purpose of your valuation. So once this you collected this data, then you have to find out market trends in that particular area. How the properties are being sold, whether there is a buyers market, sellers market, or what are the other market trends which may affect the valuation of the property. Just you have to check in that particular area. So from where you can collect the data, you can collect the data from property registration offices such as sub registrar's office, from the real estate portals. You know, these days many real estate portals are available on websites, on internet. And then market reports. So once these three things have been done, another thing you have to do, field survey. This is most important, especially in case of real estate valuation. So you have to conduct physical inspection of properties, of all the properties of which you have to do the valuation. So this inspection is done to assess their conditions and amenities available in them. Then you have to carry out stakeholders interview, means engage with real estate agents, developers, and local residents. So from these you can get qualitative information about the data, about the recent property sales, about the rental prices, about the market trends, and other things about the property. If there is any problem in the property, you can get details from local residents. Then data collection methods. What are the data collection methods? How you can collect the data? First thing is comparative market analysis. So compare similar properties that have recently been sold in the same area. So you are doing, let us suppose you are doing valuation in Krishna Nagar of a city. So you have to, let us suppose you are doing valuation of a 100 square yard plot. So you will try to find out the recent sales in Krishna Nagars for properties which are built up on 100 square yard plots, or which are virgin plots of 100 square yard which have been recently sold, so that you can compare them. So how comparison is done, we will be doing in the coming slides. But as far as first thing is concerned, you have to find out similar property. First thing, you find out similar property. And then what similar property? Those which have been recently sold, means within from 1 month to, let us say, up to 2 years. You can collect the data depending upon the conditions. So then you are doing valuation on income approach, then you have to find out the rental incomes or a potential income that such property can generate. What are the rentals for similar properties in that area, from where you can calculate the potential to generate income, that how much income this property can generate. So you can get this details from rent especially for rental properties, you have to collect the data about rental prevalent in that area, so that you are able to find out what is the potential that the particular property can generate, of which you are doing the valuation. Then if you are doing the valuation on based upon cost approach, then what you have to calculate, and you have to estimate the value based upon the cost of rebuilding or replacing the property. So you know there are two things, one is rebuilding and one is replacing. So rebuilding means you have to build a mirror image, a mirror replica. And if you are replacement means you have to replace the building with a similar building, but its material may be different, its design may be different, but it must have same use, similar use. It must have similar use. If you are doing valuation, mostly replacement cost is find out in case of cost approach. So you have to find out the value cost of similar building similar, replacing similar building in that particular area. And if you are doing valuation based upon development method, so first thing you must know is what is the potential of revenue it may generate, and what is the potential of development. So if it is a large chunk of land, you have to do valuation based upon development method. Let us suppose there is a certain commercial building being built up. So if it is still in the initial stages, and you have to do the valuation. So for that you have to carry out the valuation based upon development method, that after development how much revenue it can generate. So that is development method basically. And then you have to collect the data about location of the property, whether the property is nearer to amenities, it is nearer to public transport, and overall neighborhood quality. So whether it is nearer to some slum area, or whether it is nearer to some sewage treatment plant, or other things. And then property size and layout. So you know it will depend upon the size. Valuation of the value of the property will depend upon the size and the layout. So you have to collect the data about these two things. Then if you are doing the valuation of a building, then you have to check its age and maintenance level. What is the age of the building and what is the maintenance level of the property, so whether it is well maintained or not. Then of course this we have already discussed market trends. So current demand and supply dynamics in the local market. So this is most important thing. You have already studied this thing, demand and supply in economics parts. Then tools and resources. So you can collect the data from online portals such as housing.com, Magic Bricks, 99 acres, and for market listing and trends. Then from the you can get the data from government records such as sub-registrar's office, or property registration data from sub-registrar's office, or from the municipal records where property taxes record is kept. Then you can get the data from real estate valuation firms, etc., that those are who are providing professional services. So following these steps and utilizing these method, you can get comprehensive data to actually value the real estate property. So what are the sources of sales transaction, which we have already discussed. You can get the data from the land records from government registries such as sub-registrar's office, where the sale deeds, gift deed, and lease agreements are registered. You can get the data from there. Then from the municipal authorities, who keeps record of property taxes and transfers. Then, as we already discussed, online real estate portals such as Magic Bricks, 99 acres housing.com. They provide listing of properties for sale and rent along with historical data, transactional data. And then you can get the data from real estate market research firms such as JLL India, Knight Frank, and Savills. They offer detailed market reports and transactional data of the area. Then from the banks and financial institutions, they are providing loans on mortgage, and they have property transactions through mortgage records and loan disbursement. From there you can get the data about the rates and other things. Then real estate investment trusts or EITs, they publish the property data on their of their transactions and valuations, so which can be a valuable source of information. Then you can get data from industry association and real estate bodies such as NARDICO, means National Real Estate Development Council, or Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India, which provides market insights and transaction data. Then of course from social media, Facebook or LinkedIn, and sometimes they offer insights into the property transaction through community groups and professional networks. So sales comparison approach. So what is sales comparison approach? It is making adjustment to comparable properties. So what we do, let us suppose we have to do the valuation of a property which is a corner plot, and it is opposite to a park, and we have the data of a property which is, this is the plot of which you know the data. Let us suppose it was sold for 10,000 per square yard, and we have to do the valuation of this was a virgin plot, open plot, and here if you have to do the valuation of a building. So what we do, so it was sold for 10,000 per square yard, so we will compare these two properties and will give weightages to the factors. So this, let us suppose this is a two side plot, so corner plots of course it will have some higher per unit price than this, so we will give certain weightage to this. Let us suppose we give 10% weightage, and this is an opposite to the park, so of course let us suppose we give 5% weightage, that it has more advantage. But this is a building and this was an open plot, so in case of open plot you have the liberty to design according to your needs, but in buildings you cannot do so. So there will maybe certain deficiencies as far as building and open plot is concerned. So let us suppose we provide minus 5% for this factor. So likewise you can have many factors. So here the total increase is 10%, 5 minus 5, many more factors may be taken into increase, means the value of your per unit price of this plot will be 10,000 plus 10% means 11,000 per unit. So in this case, in this way you can find out the per unit price of the plot of which you are doing valuation. So this is making adjustment for comparable properties. How you can make adjustment. So we will discuss it in details during our case studies. So this is basics thing in which how can carry out sales comparison approach. So this is just a thumb rules, you can say, that how weightage is given for double frontage. Let us suppose your property, this is subject property of which you are doing valuation, and this is the sale instance property of which you have collected the data from the market, and this is a property of which you are doing the valuation, and this is how you can apply weightage. This is not as for any law book, this is just a thumb rule you can apply it. You may apply according to your experience and from the data you collected from the site. So if let us suppose our plot is a double frontage and the plot of which you have the data was is having only single frontage, so you can increase the per unit price. So this is per unit increase in price, 15 to 20% increase in price, per unit price. Our plot is a large size plot and this is a small size plot. Of course, large size plots have lesser per unit price. So we will decrease it minus 15 to 40% depending upon the case to case. So time factor, this, so first thing, first weightage you have to apply is time factor. So we are doing valuation at present. This was sold 12 months before. So we will deduct or we can increase the prices. Of course, this if this was sold for 10,000 per unit, so unit is square yard, so it was sold 1 year ago. So of course our plot will be sold at a higher price than 10,000, so we will increase it by 5 to 15% per year depending upon how the prices are increasing in that area. It may be more, it may be less. Then our plot is situated on a main road, this is situated on a by lane, so we can increase the prices by 15 to 30%. Then plot without excess of roads means, let us suppose the valuation you are doing, it is having plots on all the four sides, it does not have direct independent access, so only these four. So if it is surrounded by four plots on all the sides, so if you have to reach this plot, either you have to pass through D, A, B or C. So only A, D, C and B they can buy this plot. This type of plot is called landlocked land. So in that case, the sale instance you have that was having plot having an independent access, so you will reduce the price by 75 to 80%. So our plot is a joint ownership property. The property data of which we have that was a single ownership property, we will reduce the price by per unit price by 5 to 15%. So our plot is a low lying land, it was a level ground, so we will deduct the cost of earth filling. So if it is a seafront plot, so there are two cases, it was away from the sea, so maybe that the plot is nearer to sea where the sea waves are affecting the building, so in that case we will apply minus 20% weightage. And if it is away such that waves are sea waves are not affecting but it is providing a scenic view, so then we will may provide up to 30% weightage. Then pending litigation or there is a state stay against this plot in a court, there is no litigation, then we may provide minus 30% or more depending upon the case to case. Then it is a forced sale by the authority means the property is an NPA and it was a normal market sale, we may reduce the prices from 15 to 30%. So this is a way you can provide weightages. So we will discuss the different methods of doing valuation with market approach. First one is sales comparison approach. So in sales comparison approach, you need to know these things: potential gross income multiplier, effective gross income multiplier, net income multiplier, or we can say capitalization rate. So first thing you must know is what is potential gross income and what is effective gross income. So we will discuss it with an example that will make the things clear. So we are taking an example. Suppose the subject property. Subject property means the property of which you are doing the valuation. It is a new 24,000 square feet office property. Market rent for this area is 15 rupees per square feet. Average operating expenses are rupees 4.1 rupees per square feet. Average vacancy is 6%, and there have been three similar properties that have been sold during the past 18 months. The sale data of three similar properties in the vicinity of subject property is available as under. So first thing is you must know operating expenses. What are operating expenses means when you are have given some property on rent, then for collection charges and for maintenance of the building or other things, they all under comes under the heading of operating expenses. Means to continue uh, get revenue from the property, you need to maintain it, you may need to collect the rent, you have to maintain certain common amenities in the building. So these the cost of all these things comes under the heading of operating expenses, which is given to you as rupees 4.10 per square feet. And vacancy means out of 100%, means if the building is in a year, building was not buildings were not occupied 100% throughout the years. So 95% building 95% of the year was occupied. For 6%, the average vacancy was 6%, means 6% remains unoccupied. So this is the data given to you for the three comparables which you have collected the data. Sale price of comparable one was 26 lakh 75,000, comparable 2 was 42 lakh, and comparable 3 was 19 lakh 50,000. So time of sales, it was sold 5 months ago, it was sold 8 months ago, it was sold 18 months ago. Age of the building was comparable one was 5 year old, comparable 2 was 3 years old, comparable 3 was 5 years old. Gross building square feet, gross building area, it was having 26,500 square feet, it was of 46,200, it was 22,300. Potential gross income 3 lakh 44,000, it was having 5 lakh 92,000, 2 lakh 27,000. Comparable third was having potential gross income means if the building was 100% occupied throughout the years, it would have fetched 3 lakh 44,000, but 5% remains occupied for comparable one, 6% remains unoccupied for comparable two, and there was no vacancy period in case of comparable three. And operating expenses for comparable one was 99,000, for comparable two was 1,72,500, and for third comparable it was 72,000. Other data given is that market values in this area has been steadily increasing by about 1% every quarter. Means in 3 months there was an increase of 1% increase in the prices. The subject property means the property of which you are doing the valuation, along with 2 and 3 is of average construction quality, whereas comparable one is built with above average construction material. Assume that the properties constructed in the past 5 years are nearly new. We assume a brand new property would actually sell for a premium of 4%. Calculate the value of the property by sale comparable method. So first step you have to find out, you have to calculate PGIM, potential gross income multiplier, effective gross income multiplier, and capitalization rate. How you will calculate that we will discuss now. First thing you must know is what is potential gross income multiplier. So it is a ratio of sale price divided by potential gross income. Potential gross income means the income which the property would have fetched if it was 100% occupied throughout the year. So let us suppose sale price of the property is 50 lakh and potential gross income is 5 lakh per year. It means if it was 100% occupied, it would have fetched 5 lakh per year. So potential gross income will be the income multiplier PGIM. It is equals to 50 lakh divided by 5 lakh. Sale price divided by potential gross income, which is 10. It means property's value is 10 times the potential gross income. What does this mean? It means the property's value is 10 times the potential gross income. So in capitalization rate, you know capitalization rate, it is net operating income divided by sale price, which you already know. What is capitalization rate? Then the next thing is effective gross income multiplier. So first thing you must know is what is effective gross income. Let us suppose sale price is 50 lakh and potential gross income is 5 lakh. Vacancy and collection losses. Let us suppose vacancy and collection losses. It is 50,000 means this much amount has been lost due to vacancy and for collection charges, etc. So effective will be potential gross income minus vacancy and collection losses. 50 lakh minus 5 lakh. So this is effective gross income. Effective gross income is 5 lakh minus 50,000, 4 lakh 50,000 per year. So effective gross income, if you calculate this multiplier sale price divided by effective gross income. So sale price in this case is 50 lakh and effective gross income is 4 lakh 50,000. So effective gross income multiplier is 11.11. So what does this mean? It means the property's value is approximately 11.11 times effective gross income rental income. So first we will calculate PGIM is potential gross income multiplier, effective gross income multiplier and capitalization rate from the data which is given to you for comparable 1, 2 and 3. So this is the data given to you. Sale price 26 lakh 75,000, 42 lakh 90 lakh 50,000, time of sale 5 months ago, 8 months ago, 18 months ago. Is comparable 1 is 5 years, comparable 2 is having 3 years age, and comparable 3 again 5 years old. Gross building area square feet 26,500, 46,200 and 22,300. So potential gross income is given to you 3 lakh 44,000, 5 lakh 92,000 and 22 lakh 70,000. So from here, first thing you have to find out is from the potential gross income and from the vacancy, you have to find out this effective gross income. So effective gross income means this 5% remained unoccupied for the year. So it means 95% was remained occupied. So 95% will be the effective gross income. So 95% of what? 3,44,000. So that is effective gross income. 95% of 3,44,000, which is 3,86,26,800. Similarly here, 6% is vacancy. It means 94% is your effective gross income, means 94% of 5,92,000, which is 5,56,500. So here vacancy is 0. So it is no deduction is to be made. So 22,27,000 is the effective gross income for comparable 3. Then operating expenses for here it is 92 9,000 1,72,500 and 72,000. So from the effective gross income you have to deduct operating expenses. Two things there: vacancy and operating expenses. From the potential income you deduct vacancy, you get effective gross income. From the effective gross income you deduct operating expenses, you get net operating expenses. So 3,26,000 minus 99,000, it is 2,27,800. 5,56,500 minus 1,72,500, 3,84,000, 2,27,000 minus 72,000, 1,50,000. So now from these three, from potential gross income, you will calculate potential gross income multiplier. From effective gross income, you will calculate effective gross income multiplier. From net operating income, you will calculate capitalization rate. So first thing you have to find out price per square feet. Price per square feet means this was the sale price and this was the area for first comparable. So 26,75,000 divided by 26,500. So this is the price per square feet, means per unit. Similarly 42 lakh minus 46,200, 90.91 per unit rate. So similarly 19 lakh 50,000 divided by 22,300, 87.44. So potential gross income multiplier, you know it is sale price divided by potential gross income. So 26 lakh 75,000 divided by 3 lakh 44,000, you will get 7.78. 42 lakh divided by 5 lakh 92,000, it is 7.09. 19 lakh 50,000 divided by 2 lakh 27,000, 8.59. Then effective gross income, you know what is effective gross income? Sale price divided by effective gross income. So 26 lakh 75,000 divided by 3 lakh 26,800, 8.19 is your effective gross income multiplier. 42 lakh divided by 5 lakh 56,500, 7.55 is your effective gross income multiplier for comparable 2. Similarly, for 3, 19 lakh 50,000 divided by 2 lakh 27,000, 8.59. So see here, the vacancy was 0. So effective gross income multiplier for compare and potential gross income multiplier for comparable 3 will be same as there is no vacancy. Then capitalization rate, you know it is net operating income divided by sale price. So net operating income 2,27,800 divided by 26,75,000, 0.085. So here 3,84,000 divided by 42 lakh 0.091. So similarly 1,55,000 divided by 19 lakh 50,000, 0.79. So these things will be now used further to find the value of the subject property. So now we will, this is the data you have calculated. For comparable ones, 100.94, 90.91, 87.44. So this is the price per square foot which you have calculated, and then average will be average. You add all these three and divided by 3, so this will be the average 99.48. Now market conditions, number of quarters into 1%. So what we have given, it is given yet prices are increasing by 1% every quarter. Every quarter means this was sold 5 months ago, means approximately 2 quarters. It was sold 8 months, approximately 3 quarters. It was sold 18 months ago, means 6 quarters. So its price will be increased by 2%, 2 quarters, 3%, 3 quarters, and 6%, 6 quarters. So you have to increase the prices due to time factor. So first of all, you have to apply time factor. So 2%, 3%, and 6%. You understand this how it comes. So then A's. For A's, our building is a new one, and what is given that up to 5 years, the 4% weightage may be given. This is given to you for in the question that our is a brand new property, and the properties which are up to having 5 years may be given 4% premium. So we will be given 4% premium to all the 4% for A's. Then quality comparable one is of better quality, and 2 and 3 are of same quality of which of our subject properties. Then no weightage is to be given. Then -2 because comparable one is having better quality. So see here we are giving -2. So here you have to bring all the three property at the same level. So that is why we have given -2%, not +2%. This you have to remember. For better things you have to provide negative weightage. So total adjustment will be 2 plus 4 minus 2, 4%. Similarly here 7%, here 10% weightage. So adjusted price you can say means 100.94. It has to be increased by 4%. It has to be increased by 4%. It has to be increased by 7%. It has to be increased by 10%. So it you multiply 100.94 with the 1.04, you multiply 90.91 with 1.07, 87.44 with 1.10. Though this will be your adjusted prices. So if you take average, you can find out, you add all the three and divide it by 3. So it will be 99.48. So then you know the adjusted price, you know the area of comparable 1, 2, and 3. So you can calculate the adjusted value by multiplying it with the area of comparable 1, with the area of comparable 2, area of the comparable 3. So this will be the adjusted value. And then potential gross income is known to you, at effective gross income is known to you, and from there you can calculate adjusted potential gross income multiplier from the adjusted value, and adjusted effective gross income multiplier. And similarly you can calculate adjusted capitalization rate, because this from this value and other data is already known to you from these values. So all these three things are known to you. You calculate the average of these three: 8.09, 7.59, 9.45. It is 8.38. Then adjusted gross income multiplier 85.51, 8.08, and 9.45 comparable 3. So average is 8.68. Similarly, adjusted capitalization rate 0.082, 0.085, 0.072, and average is 0.08. So now with the help of these four things, you can calculate the value of your subject property. How you can do that? So potential gross income multiplier. So potential gross income, you know this area is 24,000 and per 15 rupees per square feet is the rent in that area. So potential gross income is 3,60,000. Then this is for our subject property. For subject property, area of the subject property is 24,000 square feet and 15 rupees per square feet is the rent in that area. 3,60,000 will be the potential gross income. But 6% vacancy it is given in the question. So means 94% will be 6% will be deducted. One is 20 lakh 1,600 means 94% of 3,60,000 will be your effective gross income, that is 3,38,400. So operating expenses is given 4.1 rupees per square feet of means 24,000 multiplied by 4.10 means of operating expenses is 98,400. So net operating income is 2,40,000. So from these four things and from the data, from given data for the subject property, you can calculate the value of the property. See, price per square feet is 99.48, area is 24,000, so 23,99,520. Potential gross income multiplier is 8.38. So potential gross income of subject property you have calculated 3,60,000. You multiply it with 8.38. So value from potential gross income comes 3 lakhs 30 lakh 16,800. Effective gross income multiplier average is 8.68. Effective gross income of our subject property is 3,38,400 multiplied by 8.68, 29,37,312. And capitalization rate average is 0.08. So you multiply 2,40,000 net operating income multiplied it with the YP at 8% means 100 upon 8, 30 lakh. So you get not, you are not getting a single value, you are getting, see here, range of values. In case of market approach, most of the time you will be getting a range of values and not a single value. Now see here, see these three values, 30 lakhs, 29 lakhs, 37,000, 30 lakhs. These are nearly equals to 30,000, bearing this 23 lakh 99,520. But in the end you have to give a single value, so you can safely give the value as 30 lakh. So you can, it may be appropriate to place less emphasis on the value and conclude that the subject value estimate is 30 lakh. So this is just an example of sales comparison approach. So thank you friends. This is all market approach first video. So thank you all. Thank you very much.